Blackstone Audio presents The Snake Charmer, A Life and Death in Pursuit of Knowledge by Jamie James. For Davian Littlefield, always a step ahead. Many-banded krait. No snake kills with more ruthless efficiency than the many-banded krait, which dwells in the jungles of India and Southeast Asia. Drop for drop, its venom is the deadliest of any land serpents, apart from a few rare species found only in the outback of Australia. One bite of the krait carries enough concentrated toxin to kill 24 grown men. American soldiers during the war in Vietnam called it the two-step snake, in the belief that its venom is so lethal that if it bites you, you will fall dead after taking just 2 steps. That's an exaggeration, but the bite of the many-banded krait is astonishingly potent. The venom is a neurotoxin, which means that it disables the victim's nervous system, like yanking an electrical plug out of the socket. Death comes when neurotransmission ceases. With no instructions to breathe, the muscles of the diaphragm are stilled, and the victim asphyxiates. Usually the victim of the many-banded krait is another snake. Because the species is cannibalistic, it might even be another krait. Yet it never seeks larger prey. The last thing it wants is a brush with a human being. The snake is far more likely to end up dead from the encounter than the person is. But the many-banded krait is built to kill, and if it is threatened, it can only do what it is programmed to do. It bites. Most people go to great lengths to avoid meeting a many-banded krait, but in 2001, biologist Joe Slowinski traveled from San Francisco, where he was a curator of herpetology at the California Academy of Sciences, to Upper Burma, expressly to look for them, and all the other reptiles and amphibians he could find. Joe was one of the leading experts in the world on the venomous snakes of Asia, and his latest expedition was the most ambitious scientific mission in Burma's history. He was leading 15 naturalists and more than 100 Burmese support staff into wilderness terrain that was scarcely known to science. It might seem logical to deduce from the wide availability and superfine detail of satellite mapping that the wilderness of Earth has now been fully charted, all its secrets exposed. Yet that is far from the case. There are still vast tracts of the planet that remain almost unexplored. Burma, which many people now call Myanmar, the Southeast Asian country west of Thailand, is one of the most poorly studied places in the world. Neglected by British scientists in colonial times, ripped apart by civil war in the post-war period, and brutally plundered by its own corrupt military regime since a coup in 1988, Burma hasn't had time for science. In his memoir, Burma's Icy Mountains, the British botanist Frank Kingdon Ward, one of the few
Sample complete. Ready to continue?